Okay, our next topic is what the voices in Tony Blair's head are saying.
You will obey! You will obey!
Keep smiling, have Gordon killed. Keep smiling, have Gordon killed. Cherie, will you shut the f*** up?
Oh, look, there's Cherie. That reminds me, I must post a letter.
I like big butts and I cannot laugh.
I wonder what John Prescott looks like in hot pants.
Mustn't get a stiffy.
Damn it, got a stiffy.
Go on, lie. You got away with it last time.
Well done, everyone. All come back and sit down. Now we play a round called I'm So Brexcited and I Just Can't Hide It. This game involves Nish and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is the movies. Who wants to go in that? Nish.
I'm a big movie fan, and I'm very excited that there's going to be a new James Bond. Now, my pick, personally, would be Idris Elba. I think he'd be an amazing James Bond, but some people are very unhappy. I was reading an article about this, and the first comment under the article started with the words, "This is not a race thing." Which immediately makes you think, it's definitely a race thing. This is not a race thing, it's just James Bond is not black. Now, I've got terrible news for this person. James Bond is not real. He's not a real person. He doesn't exist. If you're talking about fidelity to Ian Fleming's original character, Daniel Craig has a smartphone and a laptop, and in one of the Pierce Brosnan films, he drove an invisible car. So it might be a bit late if you just suddenly become a stickler for canon. And the second comment started with the words, "This is political correctness gone mad. This is the ethnic minority lobby getting their way again." And hey, we all know if the ethnic minority lobby's been campaigning for anything, it is for a black James Bond. People have been out in the streets. We want a black James Bond now. We don't care about police brutality. All we care about is 007. Hashtag Black Bonds Matter. We will settle for a Mexican, maybe. And who can forget the immortal words of Dr. Martin Luther King? I have a dream that one day a black man will play a fake spy.
Thank you very much. Well done, Nish. I call it ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. Here we go. The first subject is exam questions that were rejected.
A lot of people say that the exams are too easy. Is the answer A, yes? Or B, David Beckham?
With illustrations, describe the Prophet Muhammad.
A Virgin train is travelling at 120 miles per hour between London and Manchester. What time will it be cancelled?
All PE teachers are paedophiles. Discuss.
If the world is heating up at 2 degrees per decade, what is the point of anything?
Spell Mississippi without looking at how we've spelt it in the question.
Two cars are speeding. One is being driven by a black man. Which one will be stopped?
Do you think kids spend too much time with their PlayStation? Answer cross, triangle, circle or square.
Tick the box A, B or C to receive the grade A, B or C.
Sex education practical. Report to me in the stationery cupboard.
If I add 1/8 to 1/16, how stoned will I be?
Can you master this phrase? Do you want fries with that?
There you go. Let's move on to the next topic. Famous last words.
Stingrays love foreplay.
Charles? Charles? What are you doing with that pillow?
I'll bet you I can jump that ticket barrier.
No, don't shoot me! It's Yoko you want!
The funny thing is, the closer it gets, the more it looks like a piano.
Oi, Zidane! Your mum's a slag!
He's only got lipstick, Vaseline and jam. What trouble can he cause?
Yeah, Jackie, let's go in the open-topped car.
Of course it's not a poisonous snake. What would a poisonous snake be doing on a plane?
Objective first lines for the new Harry Potter book.
Harry thought of his magical adventures very differently now that he'd been diagnosed as a schizophrenic.
Don't you realise, Ron, said Harry, with our magic powers, we simply won't need Rohypnol.
Finishing in the cafeteria, Harry and Ron turned their wands on themselves. It's not as good as that one.
I am Lord Voldemort, and I am an alcoholic.
Grease the goat! Grease the goat! Grease the goat!
Harry stared at his own spectacles and thought, I can summon a centaur, but I can't fix my astigmatism.
I have earned more money than the Queen. I can't be arsed.
I'm sorry, Harry, said Ron. I thought you felt the same way.
Genital warts at Hogwarts, said Matron. What fun.
Harry wrapped the elastic round his arm and tapped the crook of his elbow, trying to get his vein up. Come on, you bastard, he said.
Something about the spell must have gone wrong, because one of Harry's testicles had turned into a scorpion.
It was October, and the beginning of Harry's 5th term at Feltham Young Offenders Institute.
Show us where Dumbledore touched you, said the judge. Show us on the doll.
The next topic is unhelpful things to say in a crisis.
I know, why don't we get the UN involved?
Statistically speaking, of course, in these circumstances, most of us will die.
Kumbaya, my lord.
I think this 14th century text adequately sums up what I want to say.
I know you're a hijacker, but I ordered a vegetarian meal.
I know this is probably the wrong time, but I've got an erection.
Women and children first, then I'll shag the men and the animals.
Advise things to say in court.
How could she have seen my face? I was wearing a balaclava!
So, to summarise, there's no evidence, but he does look a bit rapey.
Your Honour, that wig looks really gay.
Your Honour, if you like, I've got the number of a really good Brazilian cleaner.
If stabbing a man makes me guilty, I'm guilty.
I would like to present my own defence through the medium of dance.
So, if I'm found not guilty, can I keep all the stuff I nicked?
And I put it to you, my lad, that child is sexy.
Oi, Wiggy! I've done your door!
I was performing the Heimlich manoeuvre and it sort of turned into the wheelbarrow position.
Will this take long? We're meeting a boat from Colombia at 9.
There is a precedent for this. I refer Your Honour to episode 10 of LA Law.
And let me say this. Sentencing you will give me an overwhelming wave of sexual pleasure. Send him down.
The next topic is things a sports commentator would never say.
Like a lot of people watching this Olympics, I'm wondering why black people don't just take over the earth.
There's the bell, and the schoolgirls I've been spying on go back to their classrooms.
I can't be the only person to wonder what it would be like to shag this gymnast.
So here we are, from Wembley.
So, with 3 furlongs to go in this Grand National, let's leave the leaders and go and watch the fallers being shot.
And they're off! They're off! They're off! And I should probably keep my voice down because this is snooker.
Oh, forehand, backhand, forehand. Oh, don't you just love it when they grunt?
Just reading through the names of this Chinese team is making me feel hungry.
And for those of you who missed them, here are next week's Italian football results.
This woman isn't just a world-class curler, she's also a model.
Links for that cheap teenage smell of desperation.
Because some nights are best forgotten. Rohypnol.
Injured at work? Don't drive a jet car at 300 miles an hour.
The Islamic Jihad High School, because they blow up so quickly.
I'm Tony the Tiger. Siegfried and Roy taste great.
For effective ethnic cleansing, use Milosevic.
The post office. We're always full of absolute freaks.
We laundered this half of the money with the mafia and this half with the more violent Chinese triads.
L'Oreal!
By the year 2020, we shall rule the earth. Tesco, every little helps.
Losing a hair, tiny cock, you need a Porsche.
Clear all your debts with one easy payment. Buy a shotgun and blow your head off.
Take 2 bottles into the shower. Yes, I'm an alcoholic.
That's it on that topic. Our next topic is inappropriate acts for the Royal Variety Performance.
Let's play Who's Harry's Dad?
Stephen Hawking unplugged.
Your Royal Highnesses, Lords, ladies and gentlemen, I give you synchronised dogging.
Ladies and gentlemen, the marching band of the Mujahideen.
As a treat for the Duke of Edinburgh, the black and white minstrels sing the speeches of Hitler.
The George Michael motorcycling display team.
Lines that you'd never hear in a Bond film.
Engineer's cue. It's a bomb, but it's also a rucksack.
Oh, James, what a wonderful present. Chlamydia.
My name is Bond. Mohammed Bond.
Everything's ready for your mission, Bond. All you need to do is fill in this health and safety risk assessment.
Mr. Bond, have you ever kissed a man?
You're very good at poker, but let's see how you do on the fruit machines.
Here's your new car, Bond. A Ford Focus.
I'll have an egg roll, scrambled, not boiled.
Let me get this straight. There's an evil tyrant at the top of a mountain, surrounded totally by armed guards. Do you know, I don't fancy it.
It's not just a baseball bat, Bond. It's a baseball bat with a nail through it.
Oh, James, is it meant to be this soft?
They're getting away. We'll get after them in this pedalo.
We'd better slow down. There are speed cameras.
I hope you're not going to be one of those Russian agents whose name is just a cheap sexual pun, Miss Suck Me Off.
Next topic is TV shows that never made it to air.
The boy whose arms and arse and head fell off.
He robs from the rich and the poor. It's Robin Hoodie.
And now the magic of Britain's parks at night as Bill Oddie presents Gay Watch.
And now on BBC Two, Jack Straw's What Not to Wear.
I'm Wayne Rooney, and welcome to Granny's Do the Filthiest Things.
Welcome to Blind Date with me, Stevie Wonder.
And now BBC One, it's the Senile Dementia Show. Where do you think you are?
This week on Who Do You Think You Are, Prince Harry traces his family tree with some surprising results.
Things to say when leading troops into battle.
Cry God for Harry, England and St George. Let us march to the music of Shawaddy Waddy.
Soon you'll be at home with your families, in a jar on the mantelpiece.
Have you been injured at work?
Right, lads, I might... Ah, pins and needles.
General Churchill will be leading the troops in on this one, isn't that right? Oh, yes.
Our best hope is that the enemy kills so many of us, they become slightly depressed.
Hello, I'm George Bush.
This next mission will be led by Michael Moore, seeing as he knows so fucking much.
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to hear on Blue Peter.
Today we'll show you how to make an ashtray using the shell of a dead tortoise.
And welcome back, John Leslie.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a gimp?
When we say the Vandals have killed the goldfish, we mean they've shat in the pond.
And all we'll need to make this is a Bunsen burner, a spoon, some fresh cocaine and a pipe.
So in a moment, Connie will be teaching you how to clone your parents' credit cards.
With a couple of batteries and a toilet roll holder, you can make a fantastic Mother's Day vibrator.
Yes, the answer I was looking for was Gove announces exam changes. This is the news that Education Secretary Michael Gove has announced a new English baccalaureate certificate to replace GCSEs. From 2015, students will work towards a demanding 3-hour exam at the end of a 2-year course rather than the current combination of coursework, modular exams and multiple retakes.
He's even invented an exam that thicker kids won't be able to pronounce. It's the back of what? The back of what? The back. Oh, give me a shovel, I'll go down to mine.
I think the idea is if you're academic, then you get a baccalaureate, and otherwise they teach you practical skills like how to back a lorry out.
The Tories have assured us that under this system no child will be left behind, but how can we take Tory promises that no child will be left behind seriously when their leader's David Cameron?
What's the abbreviation is?
It's called EBC. EBAC.
It's called the EBAC.
EBAC, which is when Yorkshire people make payment over the internet.
I thought that was something from Star Wars, isn't that?
Yes, it was. Do you know who hated the EBACs?
I bet you can't do the impression.
Skywalker! Your EBACs will not qualify you to run the Empire.
There's been a lot of debate over, whether grades have been devalued, and I was discussing that recently with my nephew, Professor Timmy.
So, hang on, sorry, because it's one of these things that I genuinely am always perplexed about, coming from a different country as I have, with my spices and my sips. To your nation. And there's so many great things about it, except your exams, which are mad. And not that the education, by the way, is great. I'm not saying anything about the education people get here, it's fantastic. But the exams are mad.
There are people who, when confronted with an exam paper, just go to pieces completely and forget how to count, and I think it's very unfair that they are marking the papers.
There are people who just shouldn't be taking exams. My friend Carl was at sixth form college with a girl who got her A-level results, and when she pulled out the piece of paper, the 3 letters telling her what her future would be, she went, that spells none.
People make an awful lot about the pressure that kids are under, and I suppose they are, but speaking as an ex-teacher, when it comes to exam time, there's far worse pressure on the teachers, because you have to spend sometimes 4 or 5 hours in those halls just walking up and down, and it's a recipe for insanity. I had no choice when I was teaching but to invent a game called Campile. It was just to see who could walk up and down the aisle the campest. We started off just sort of slightly mincing. Honestly, by the end of it, I was walking down a full aisle of children like this. And I knew it was time for me to leave teaching when I got to the end of one aisle, genuinely, during an actual GCSE, a kid looked up at me and went...
So were you essentially voguing your way?
I'm not exaggerating. By the end of it, I was like...
The thing is, they want to make the exams harder, don't they? You know, but surely they're hard enough already if your teacher is walking up and down, camping it up.
Oh, no, I'm still qualified, technically. We'll have to cut this bit out.
Really? Is that your safety net?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Do you think anybody, having seen you in In-Betweeners, anybody who's ever going to
Well, you've always got a trade. What is the problem with it?
I did a gig at the University of Central England, which is in Birmingham. That's what they're trying to hide from you. And as an opening line, I said, UCE, so-called, because that's the grades it takes to get in. But I had to explain it to them.
I'll tell you, I was in an exam when I was at school. My mate at the back of the hall went... we were all waiting to leave. Someone at the back of the hall went... Bow. And Mr. Mearden, the exam invigilator, went... And then someone else went... Bow. And then... Bow. From different parts of the hall. And it led to my favourite sentence I've ever heard come out of an adult's mouth, which was, all right, no one leaves until the meowing stops.
At the end of that round, the points go to Chris, Hugh and Gary. What world first will soon open in London?
It's a vagina museum.
It's a vagina museum.
Darling, I don't even know how to say that word.
I am a delicate southern belle. I don't know say words like that.
Oh, you've been on Grindr too long.
Of a John.
And the award for clearest example that TV commissioners have run out of ideas goes to Comedy Central for Dara O'Brien's Blockbusters.
Those kids deserve to be on the telly as much as anyone.
I'll tell you the best thing that's happened to me in the last week. A taxi driver mistook me for Jurgen Klopp.
By the way, people often ask what I write during this bit. I was making a sign that says, Ed is a prick. Moving on, according to psychologists, what healthy fantasies do some people have about their boss?
Just rubbing oil into that smooth Irish head.
Tom Watson, Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, has just resigned.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Why is he resigned?
Why is he resigned? Literally, what? I don't know. They just told me that a second ago.
They don't do that on the news, Dara. You've got to learn a few techniques.
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panellists can come up with.
Help! I'm becoming trapped. Trapped in the gravitational pull of Dara!
So tough week for the Conservatives. Labour, however.
I tell you what, Tom Watson's resigned.
Yeah. I just got everyone to sign this from the whole cast. With everyone's signatures on it, like whatever, that adds a prick. And so we have that as a special thing.
Should I sign it as well? Just to...
No, you don't have to sign it. You're a prick. Unlikely lines from a costume drama.
Yes, welcome to Mark the Warrior.
Moving on, why was Ryanair in the news this week?
Because Tom Watson resigned.
By the way, I've just totally realised that I was supposed to, during that round, hand out all the other donuts so you could all have a donut. I'm just going to sit here just eating them for the rest of the round. We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Matt, which category would you like?
World news, please.
OK, world news it is. The answer is petrol, money and drugs. What is the question?
Is it the 3 middle names of Princess Charlotte?
Is it what 3 things might a Greek keep in a chicken?
What do gangsters play instead of rock, paper, scissors?
Is it what 3 things are keeping Keith Richards alive?
Is it what in The Sound of Music are the Von Trapp's family's real favourite things?
What are the 3 characters called on a packet of Colombian Rice Krispies?
Is it what 3 things are we being paid in this evening?
All together in one big bucket.
Yeah.
What will the motto be for the Qatar World Cup?
Is it complete the song? Hugh Pew, Barney McGrew.
That scans. That probably scans very, very well.
It's a much better song, wouldn't it?
It would have been very good.
What are the 3 main aisles in a Bolivian Waitrose?
Does anyone know the correct answer?
You know that tattoo you got that you think says peace, love and harmony? Is it to do with Greece?
It is to do with Greece.
Is it what 3 things that they wore in Greece are about to run out of?
Ah, very good. Thank you very much, Ed Burr. That's excellent. Yes, the question I was looking for is what items are at risk of running out in Greece after Sunday's crucial vote on the EU's bailout terms. This is news as 61% of the Greek population voted against accepting the strict austerity measures proposed by the EU. There's now a real risk that the country will run out of money, fuel and medicine. So what does it all mean for Greece?
It's ridiculous now. The whole thing is just going on. It is like a soap opera. And I don't watch the Eurozone crisis now day to day. I wait till Sunday and I watch the Omnibus edition.
This thing of just referring to the Greek exit as Grexit, it just is like, are you in that much of a hurry that you couldn't say a 3rd syllable?
If the British exit happens, it's going to be called Brexit. It sounds like a cheap form of Lego, or what the Greek Prime Minister does every time he meets Angela Merkel.
I don't get this thing that you can... I didn't know that you could reject banks' demands. If I'd known that, my whole life would have been different. If I'd been able to go to the bank and go, well, I do owe you 10 grand, but I really like my lifestyle.
It could be, but it could be a mis-selling scandal, doesn't it? Because as far as I'm aware, Greece was never made to sign that box that said your home is at risk if you do not keep up the repayments.
You think they're waiting for the PPI?
Yeah, I think
the
they'll
400 quid of PPI.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that will bail them out of this time.
Apparently the Greek government have admitted that living in their past is their Achilles heel.
No one was expecting that reaction,
no. Oxy, they went. Oxy to that. I think it's definitely a case that if they want to bail out, they get bailed themselves out, like whatever. They really just have to invoke copyright law on all the stuff they invented some time ago now, right? But that they definitely invented, like democracy, triangles and gays. And if they...
Philosophy as well. The birthplace of philosophy, isn't it?
Or was it?
Yes. Oh, you
Who
know
knows?
well.
Why do you think that there is a professional philosopher at home going, that's not what philosophy is? It's not just going, or is it?
I think there's a lot of opportunities in Greece, actually. I'm going to start a band called Cash Machine, because people will be queuing around the block. But we've been told if we go on holiday to Greece that we should take lots and lots of money with us.
Yes.
To rub it in?
I think it's to pay your kidnappers.
Yes, the answer I was looking for was Gove announces exam changes. This is the news that Education Secretary Michael Gove has announced a new English baccalaureate certificate to replace GCSEs. From 2015, students will work towards a demanding 3-hour exam at the end of a 2-year course rather than the current combination of coursework, modular exams and multiple retakes.
He's even invented an exam that thicker kids won't be able to pronounce. It's the back of what? The back of what? The back. Oh, give me a shovel, I'll go down a mine.
I think the idea is if you're academic, then you get a baccalaureate, and otherwise they teach you practical skills like how to back a lorry out.
The Tories have assured us that under this system no child will be left behind, but how can we take Tory promises that no child will be left behind seriously when their leader's David Cameron?
What's the, do you know what the abbreviation is?
It's called
EBC. EBAC.
It's called the EBAC.
EBAC, which is when Yorkshire people make payment over the internet.
I thought that was something from Star Wars, isn't that?
Yes, it was. Do you know who hated the EBACs?
I bet you can't do the impression. Skywalker! Your evacs will not qualify you to run the Empire.
There's been a lot of debate over, whether grades have been devalued, and I was discussing that recently with my nephew, Professor Timmy.
So, hang on, sorry, because it's one of these things that I genuinely am always perplexed by, coming from a different country as I have, with my spices and my silks. To your nation. And there's so many great things about it, except your exams, which are mad. And not that the education, by the way, is great. I'm not saying anything about the education people get here, it's fantastic. But the exams are mad.
There are people who, when confronted with an exam paper, just go to pieces completely and forget how to count, and I think it's very unfair that they are marking the papers.
There are people who just shouldn't be taking exams. My friend Carl was at sixth form college with a girl who got her A-level results, and when she pulled out the piece of paper, the 3 letters telling her what her future would be, she went, that spells none.
People make an awful lot about the pressure that kids are under, and I suppose they are, but speaking as an ex-teacher, that when it comes to exam time, there's far worse pressure on the teachers, because you have to spend sometimes 4 or 5 hours in those halls just walking up and down, and it's a recipe for insanity. I had no choice when I was teaching but to invent a game called Campile. It was just to see who could walk up and down the aisle the campest. We started off just sort of slightly mincing. Honestly, by the end of it, I was walking down a full aisle of children like this. And I knew it was time for me to leave teaching when I got to the end of one aisle, genuinely. During an actual GCSE, a kid looked up at me and went...
So were you essentially voguing your way...
I'm not exaggerating. By the end of it, I was like...
The thing is, they want to make the exams harder, don't they? But surely they're hard enough already if your teacher is walking up and down, camping it up.
Oh, no, I'm still qualified, technically. We'll have to cut this bit out.
Really? Is that your safety net?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Do you think anybody, having seen you in In-Betweeners, anybody is ever going to employ you?
Well, you've always got a trade.
I did a gig at the University of Central England, which is in Birmingham. That's what they're trying to hide from you. And as an opening line, I said, UCE! So called because that's a grade it takes to get in. But I had to explain it to them.
I'll tell you what, I was in an exam when I was at school. My mate, at the back of the hall, went... we were all waiting to leave. Someone at the back of the hall went... Bow! Mr. Mearden, the exam invigilator, went... And then someone else went... Bow! And then... Bow! From different parts of the hall, and it led to my favourite sentence I've ever heard come out of an adult's mouth, which was, all right, no one leaves until the meowing stops.
The topic is safety. Away you go.
just like to say to the old man who was wearing camouflage and using crutches who stole my wallet earlier, you can hide, but you can't run. Of course, these days, a lot of people are putting poison on the menu of restaurants in the hope that French people think it's fish. My dad's answer to everything was alcohol. He didn't drink, he was just very bad at quizzes. I only have access to my son on Saturdays. Well, he fell under the floorboards of a synagogue. And I would like to see a world without plagiarism. You may say I'm a dreamer. But I'm not the only one. You see, my friends, if I had a crystal ball, I'd sit down very carefully. They say that putting mud on your face is good for your skin, but I saw a sign the other day that said sewage treatment works. Trust me, it doesn't.
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to hear at the World Cup.
And here comes the Irish team.
Oh, sorry, that is... Wow. You're getting buzzed to fuck for the rest of it. OK, sorry, Hugh, you'd like to go in there? Yeah,
It's okay.
absolutely,
That's
Hugh.
fine.
Here with the first answer is Hugh.
And here come the Irish team.
Hello, I'm really sorry we didn't get in this year.
And up in the stand, the Uruguayan women with their chant, Uruguay, and I'm a gwirl.
And Portugal have beaten Spain, and Saudi Arabia have beaten a woman for wearing shorts.
Jamie Vardy managed 4 shots in the first half, 3 sambucas and a Skittles vodka.
And that is a great shot from the Russian, but unfortunately the journalist has survived.
So it's Panama's first time at the tournament, but they have been doing FIFA's accounts.
And Sterling has taken a dive. That's it for financial news. Back to the football.
Well, it's official. England are out. And we can go back to identifying people with flags in their windows as racist.
Well, let's have a look at the Swedish bench. £12.99 from IKEA.
Oh, and that is a huge tackle. That has got to make it more difficult to rollerblade.
Brilliant goalkeeper, David De Gea. Midfield maestro, Mesut Ozil. Fast forward...
And he's nipped round the back and banged in an absolute screamer. This really is the best leaked sex tape in the history of football.
Well, we didn't think it was possible, but somehow Gareth Southgate has managed it. England eliminated before the group stage.
Well, at 2-1 down, Iran had to do something, so they brought on their secret weapon, a 14-megaton intercontinental ballistic missile.
If you've just tuned in to England versus Germany, what are you doing, mate? Love Island is on.
Well, it looks like semis for Croatia. I wish they had worn bigger shorts.
That's a shocking miss from Jesus. They are going to absolutely crucify him for that.
Next topic is things you wouldn't hear in a charity appeal.
British Red Cross. Just 3 adjectives to describe the average UKIP voter.
Stuck in a chair, barely able to move. Please help us get Dara walking again.
Peter Andre will be with us later. He's got a new single, and if our donations don't double, we'll let him perform it.
For just 50p, Dara O'Brien will toss you off in comic hand relief.
50p?
50p? There's no way I'm paying that.
Give me a quid at least. I'm classy. Kiss him and everything.
Shoplifters Anonymous, helping people to help themselves.
If you're starting a family, why not consider adoption? But hurry up, otherwise it'll only be the ugly ones left.
With your money, I'm going to start a human organ delivery service called Liveroo.
Every day, these people walk up to 15 steps to get water. With your money, we can employ waiters at Nando's.
At the National Trust, for just £70 a year, you can have unlimited access to national treasures, like the gardens of Stour Head or the sumptuous interior of Judi Dench.
The thing with a disease like HIV is that many people are just ignorant. Most people don't even realise that HIV is just Roman for high five.
Robin needs clean, cold water and something nutritious to eat, because last night he got shit-faced.
These people are disease-ridden. They haven't had a shower for weeks. Donate now. Save a life in Magaluf.
This is the People's Dispensary for sick animals. This tiger has 3 dicks. How sick is that?
Give a man a duck and he'll feed himself for a week. Teach a man to duck and he'll avoid low-flying objects.
With your money last year, we took this homeless man and completely transformed him into a homeless woman.
And now on Comic Relief, it's time for some harrowing footage as the cast of Birds of a Feather sing the hits from Greece.
Between you and me, those rescue cats can't even swim, let alone rescue anyone.
The Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, the only charity looking after the needs of Cockney women.
For just the price of a cup of coffee, we can get little Nagubu a cup of coffee.
Pale, sad and hungry. We're raising money for the Irish football team.
OK, points go to Milton, Hugh and Angela. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Reece James, Donna Hughes and Ed Gamble. Commiserations to Milton Jones, Hugh Dennis and... In other news, who's making a surprise appearance on Strictly?
Ed Balls.
Ed Balls is. Yes, he is.
It's not a surprise,
no, it was
is it? Because he did announce it months ago.
I don't know why. The word was in it, I just read it. It was a bit of a fuck you, San Diego moment. Sorry. Shall we do it again without that word in it? It would be grand. Yes. Speaking of Labour, who's making an appearance in the current series of Strictly?
Well, it's quite a surprise. It was Ed Balls.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Who thought that? Yeah. In a blue tuxedo as well. Do you know who else is getting a blue tuxedo?
You.
Yes. I was buying myself a blue tuxedo recently, and I had already just paid the money for it, and then I see Ed Balls ruining blue tuxedos forever.
When would you wear a blue tuxedo?
What do you do for events in which you have to wear a tuxedo?
Isn't it all black? That's black tie events.
Yeah, the tie is still black, but the tuxedo is blue.
Oh, OK.
Yeah.
A lot of politicians are good at dancing, although Desmond Tutu wasn't wearing what I thought he was going to wear.
Would you do Strictly?
No, I wouldn't, because I got a dodgy knee anyway. But so I couldn't do it.
I got asked to do Splash.
You got to Splash. That is a lot easier.
see that.
Oh God, I can't think of anything worse. To be fair, you shouldn't slag off reality shows and stuff like that, because you're only ever 4 Eastern European rent boys away from doing one, aren't you? So...
That footage of him on Strictly was so embarrassing. I'm surprised he didn't pretend to be a washing machine salesman called Jim.
Yeah, he said it was a midlife crisis, didn't he? But looking at the state of him in that photo, I think midlife's a bit optimistic, isn't it?
In that photo, basically, that suit was actually sequined, but he breathed out, and then...
Apparently his Native American name is Dances with Difficulty.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Rob Tiffany! So, what else? In other health news? What health initiative is coming into schools?
Michael Gove saying school lunches should be banned because apparently only 1% of them meet the nutritional requirements that school dinners are supposed to have.
Yes, that is generally the gist of it, right?
That's facts.
Yeah.
I don't have a joke.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But it says only 1% of. I mean, what are people?
I don't like the story anyway. Is it just me? I don't want to think about Michael Gove's lunchbox. I just don't want to think about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I presume people put it. What are people putting into it? Like, are they only 1% of...
not the kind of stuff you see, this seems to me a very unfair story, because they're saying that packed lunches are very unhealthy compared with school lunches. But they're not. I mean, when I only ever had packed lunches. I had brown bread sandwiches. I had 2 cubes of jelly.
What?
Yeah.
Jelly that wasn't made?
Jelly that wasn't made, because my mum didn't like giving us chocolate or sweets or something. She used to cut up jelly. Oh. She used to cut up a jelly, the cube that you make it from, and give me 2 bits of it.
And
it was really, really nice. But for the rest of the day after I'd had it, I was always slightly worried that it might turn into jelly.
Just a huge-shaped...
If you drank a glass of water, it would sort of go...
Just split apart and there'd be a huge-shaped jelly there. That's the biggest jelly baby in the world.
I also did point out to you that you also said you had brown bread sandwiches. Do you mean like 2 slices of brown bread with a slice of brown bread?
You have to.
I mean, how can packed lunches have only 1% of the nutritional requirement of a school dinner? What are people putting in these packed lunches? Is it like a large sandwich and a sugar cube? You're thinking some of the kids must be so stupid they're actually eating the plastic box.
It's all parents have more control.
No, but they do. The problem is parents do have control. Every time they try and solve this problem, the parents get in the way. When Jamie Oliver tried it, right, tried to get rid of turkey twizzlers and put healthy food in schools, so mum's at the school gate passing packets of chips through to their children. If you want to solve this problem, it's not a policy thing. Just make the railings thinner so they can't shove their massive hand... Sandra, you're going to have to put your face right up and eat a feed into your individual. You know which kids it was? They're going after lunch with shiny lips and 2 rust lines down the face.
I have to, you're making an excellent point, but you said turkey twizzlers. I genuinely thought you said when they tried to get rid of Turkish prisoners. Why are Turkish prisoners feeding children in school?
Because they are getting their
For the whole thing, I was going, well, one of them is called Sandra.
And that really is the clue as to the likelihood that I didn't actually say that.
Yeah, I suppose. You put it that way, it makes more sense.
They're suggesting that teachers should eat with the kids. But
Yes.
the thing is that, you know, a lot of teachers do currently eat with the kids, although it's usually in the form of a romantic meal, isn't it?
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, DVD owner.
In other news, what could happen to drunk air passengers in the future?
They might sober up.
Yeah.
They're complaining drunks are getting on planes. They make you wait for 2 hours in a pub. That's just a brilliant pub that happens to have good transport links.
It is true, though, isn't it? It's the only time you see people sort of 3 o'clock in the morning in an airport pub just going, oh, I'll have a bacon sandwich and 4 pints of Stella. That seems to make sense, doesn't it? We're here. As soon as you take away windows, all responsibility goes, doesn't it? It can be any time I want it to be.
Totally agree. I saw a guy, this was out of order, 7 a.m, having a Wagamama's. What the hell are you doing?
You're right, you're right.
What is going wrong in your life? There's a guy drinking Guinness, looking across, going, he's got problems.
It's only a problem on planes, though, isn't it? It's not a problem in airports, is it? And it's only a problem on planes if you get so drunk that you go, right, you, outside, now.
But they always say that people get drunk and try to open the doors. Presumably you can't actually open those doors.
I don't think someone can just round... The doors, obviously, they can't be open, otherwise we'd all still be on the last plane we got onto. You can't, but you can't in a kind of a, hello, you're a very pretty... who says, whoa! That big roundy bun doesn't go from... Whoa! Give me a call! That's right! James O'Reilly. We start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Sarah, which category would you like?
I will have world news, please.
OK, world news it is. The answer is 1.6 billion. What is the question?
Is it how many immigrants are so lazy they haven't even bothered to come over here?
Is it what in decibels is Brian Blessed?
Is it when they go back to us, how many drachma will there be to the euro?
For about a week or so.
How many Scottish people now say they voted yes in the referendum?
Is it what was the crucial missing ingredient from England's bid for the 2022 World Cup?
Is it how much are cats owed in YouTube advertising?
Is it when I went on Dragon's Den, how much did I want for a 2% share in my body hoover business?
James, talk numbers. How many? What's your turnover?
Well, Deborah. I haven't really got the numbers in my head. That's what they say, isn't it?
Right, I'm out.
That usually gets...
Is it what is the count in Sesame Street up to now?
We think he's just somewhere in a bar, just still counting. Tiny Transylvanian puppet in a bar. 1.5.
If you go and use a Glastonbury toilet, is it how many people seem to have used that toilet before you have?
Is it what number, when typed into a calculator and turned upside down, becomes, ooh, GI?
Is it after you've popped, how many Pringles can you eat before you must stop?
Is it, since I started this sentence, how much further has Greece got into debt?
It's to do with Greece, clearly, yes, we're all dancing around. What is 1.6 billion?
This is the amount in euros that Greece are supposed to pay back to the IMF by the 30th of June.
You're absolutely right. Thank you very much, Sarah Pascoe. Well done. Yes. The question I was looking for was how much money in euros does Greece need to repay to the International Monetary Fund by the 30th of June? That's next Tuesday, or risk crashing out of the Eurozone?
But it is a loan, isn't it? What they've got is a loan. I think it might solve itself. Are we certain they haven't got PPI? Wouldn't that be great? Just on the day before they have to pay back, Alexander Tsipras, the Greek Prime Minister, gets a phone call saying, "We have been trying to contact you."
That's the Greek PM. Well, he seems thrilled with that particular development.
He looks so coy. He literally looks like that is the face that people do when you go up to him and go, "Where's my money?" He's like, "Money?"
There's lots of ways of raising money, though, aren't there? I would have thought. They've got lots of stuff.
Yeah.
They could have a big episode of the Antiques Roadshow. They'd raise quite a lot of money.
They could use plastic plates at weddings. That'd save a lot of money.
And then if they fail, what's the term called for what'll happen to them?
Grexit.
Grexit.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
It's a great term, isn't it?
I don't like it being shortened, because I like it when the papers call it a messy Greek exit, because that sounds like a pornography description.
I like when they say the Greeks have been warned of Grexit. Like, you know, Grexit is this thing which is going to emerge from the sea in a kind of with his eyes so red and a scary nose and a horrible waters, horrible toes. The Grexit.
Brexit, sure. It just also sounds like the door on the way out of a Greggs, doesn't it? That's what confuses me about it. Don't they have that above the door in Greggs?
If you eat yourself to death on pasties, that's a Grexit, I think.
This, by the way, is not Greg's in Athens. This is people going, my money, please.
I've seen queues like that in Leicester Square on a Saturday night.
Gone into a bank, presumably.
I've seen long queues at cash machines just on busy nights.
They might be queuing
for
a bed and a
It means
bath.
nothing. You're playing into the hands of the European Commission and their misinformation. Shit, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. You're telling me that essentially all these people are on a night out and they just want a few quid.
Maybe.
Other news, and there was other news this week. Remarkably, trawling the papers, there was other stuff happening in the world. What small group gathered in Bournemouth last week?
Was it the Abused Pig Support Society?
No, it was not.
It was the Liberal Democrats.
The Lib Dems had their thing.
They had their conference in 2 4-man tents.
They've only got 8 MPs. They don't need a big hall.
No, they don't.
All they need is a Citroen Picasso.
They did it at Cafe Nero, and they shared a loyalty card and still couldn't get a free coffee. It's a low moment, isn't it?
That is tough, all right.
There are other people at the conference, though, aren't there? It's not just the MPs.
No, it's not. No,
there are
it's
6 or 7 other people there.
Yeah. The best bit is when the venue hire said, well, we can just put 2 tables together. That'll do.
My favourite detail of the conference was that Paddy Ashdown did a DJ set.
Oh.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, wow. I love the idea that there's a poster somewhere with the words Paddy Ashdown, open brackets, DJ set, close brackets. Their party is so small that Vince Cable was doing the perfume for £1 in the toilet.
Wasn't there talk of splitting as well, and of some people leaving to make a new left-wing party?
The idea, yeah.
How can you split something that's already that small? You'd need the Large Hadron Collider to do that.
What did Jeremy Corbyn get in trouble for not doing last week?
Not being very good.
He didn't sing the national anthem.
Why did he not sing it?
Well, he's a Republican. He doesn't believe in the monarchy. But he claimed he was very much deep in thought. But then he's probably like most of the population who doesn't actually know all of the words to the national anthem.
There's a very odd thing in the second verse, though, which no one knows at all, which the opening line of which is, "Thy choicest gifts in store, on her be pleased to pour," which is a really odd image of somebody just emptying a massive sack of presents on her head.
Thy choicest gift in store sounds like a very old Argos advert.
Thy choicest gifts are in store now.
Didn't he claim that he was remembering the war?
He said, no, he later said that he was so moved because of his memories of his parents who were involved in the war and all thing, which is his first piece of spin. Could we? It's sweet.
None of us like the national. It's not a banging tune over here.
No,
Paddy
it's
Ashdown didn't spin it at the.
Just got to a break beat, dropped it. Hey, here comes the Queen.
This one's for Vince Cable, get on the dance floor.
Things are about to get pretty extreme.
If they want something Jeremy Corbyn will sing gleefully, why don't they do David Cameron Had a Farm?
The boys from James, Zoe and Andy. Let's spin the wheel. The subject is national identity. Who wants to come forward? Russell.
Thank you. We're told to worry about national identity all the time. Like, Gordon Brown seems to be obsessed with British values. Have you noticed that? Kind of preaching British values. What are British values? Ultimately, we're all embarrassed and we laugh at stuff we shouldn't. That's pretty much it, isn't it? It's that forbidden giggle. You know when you're not allowed to laugh, but all you can think about doing is laughing. It's like when you see an old lady get hit by a frisbee. You know it's wrong. You know? The last time I saw that flag, it was a football game. England were playing Croatia, right? In Croatia, there was a bloke holding up the flag, right? Into which he'd sewn the words, "Go home, asylum seekers!" And you're like, how middle-class a hooligan are you? You're into bigotry and embroidery.
Good man, well done, Russell. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is transport. Who wants to come in on that? Rod.
May I? See, I don't know about you, the viewing public and the audience here in the studio, but I'm pretty paranoid on trains, are you? No, you're not as paranoid as I am. I just get paranoid. They make you paranoid, I think. It's all these announcements and signs. You know, if you see anything unusual, report it immediately. I was on a train last Wednesday and saw a Hare Krishna eating a bounty. I reported it and they blew him up in a controlled explosion.
Well done, Rod Gilbert.
Thank you very much.
OK, that leaves us with Andy and Frankie. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is health.
Wow.
Yeah, that says health to me.
There was a health report recently on Scotland that said that Scotland is the worst small country in Europe. And we were quite disappointed because we thought we were the worst small country in the world. Glasgow's chief health officer said that he was slightly surprised by the findings, which caused him to have a massive heart attack. Scotland does, though, have the best mental health record in Europe. And I think that's because in Scotland, you really have to go an extra bit to be judged mental. Sorry, son, we didn't realise you were a schizophrenic. We just thought you were a bit of a character.
Thank you, Brian. OK, let's see what's left for Andy. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is drinking.
Now, according to police, right, apparently in nightclubs, 1 in 20 drinks are spiked. Now, I was thinking this could give you a little excuse not to go into work the next day. Phone up work, I can't come in, my drink was spiked. How do you know? Well, I had 20 of them. One of them must have been. Of course, if you go and see your doctor now, they give you a little test, don't they? My doctor, he said to me the other day, he said, how many units of alcohol have you had this week? I said, 21. He said, that's not bad, the maximum's 28. I was thinking it was bloody lucky I saw him on the Monday.
At the end of that round, I'm giving the points to Andy and Russell. Come on back. OK, here we go. The first subject is Things you wouldn't hear on a science documentary.
The dinosaurs were wiped out by a giant asteroid. Silly them for all standing in the same place.
Let the proton see the electron.
See, and the problem with cocaine is it's well Moorish.
Well, we could ask a proper scientist about this, or we could ask Dara O'Brien.
Hello, my name's Dara O'Brien. And to try and bring science to the masses, I'm going to appear in a programme with Stephen Hawking wearing a ridiculous hat.
Just enough with the, you know... I love that hat, by the way.
Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. And I've got a massive head and a massive brain. But all I get to do in this bit is just press a little button.
Mr. O'Brien, I award you a PhD. Phenomenal head, Dara.
I would just like to say that I think Dara O'Brien's a legend.
I work with Dara O'Brien. And today, my experiment is to turn this joke into a P45.
The next topic is unlikely things to hear at Wimbledon.
Well, at 2 sets down, let's see what he's got in his locker. He's not going to be there for about 20 minutes. I've got a crowbar.
Serena Williams has been seeded. You've got to admire the bravery of that bloke.
Hello, I'm Sue Barker. You may remember my father, Chew Barker.
Well, they say that the All England Club is a bit behind the times, and that's why this small boy has just had his hand chopped off for stealing a strawberry.
I am a tennis umpire and gay, and it wasn't easy to come out!
What a fantastic slice, but I do think the All England Club will insist she wears knickers again next year.
Fuck off, Tim!
Well, how did the umpire get up there? I think he must have used a set bladder.
Of course, this year the British players play a lot better. If we look at this graph, we see huge biceps and an angry... Sorry, Steffi, wrong graph.
And for any of our Scottish viewers, what you can see there in that glass of Pimm's is fruit.
Andy Murray here. Andy Murray not being able to make it here today, but we do have his cab driver on the other line. Could you tell us what's occurred? I can't get out of the cab!
And the mound has taken a real pounding in the last fortnight. I think the All England Club are fine with it as long as it doesn't affect her tennis.
Okay, doing that round. The point of Aaron, you and Merton.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can make your way to the performance area, please. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is bad things to hear at the psychiatrist.
I don't want you to think of me as a psychiatrist. I want you to think of me as a mental patient who killed the psychiatrist before you got here.
You think you are a potato? On the couch, please.
Welcome to your first session of Freudian analysis. What seems to be the penis?
Well, you say that you're paranoid, but I have a report here that says you looked very relaxed in the bath this morning.
Oh, yes. I can see why you fancy your mother. She's something of a fox.
You've been coming here for 6 months to talk about your trust issues. Well, we've been filming you for Britain's nuttiest bastards.
Yes, I think your parents caused you problems from a very early age, Clitorina.
Your thoughts that you're horrifically unattractive are all in your mind, Mr. Johnson.
OK, word association. I'm going to say a word, and I want you to say the first thing that pops into your breasts.
Wow, that's really interesting. Do you mind if I use some of this stuff as lyrics for my band?
You have emotional problems and a below-average IQ. I'm prescribing Hollyoaks.
Oh, that's a classic dream. It means you're a paedophile.
I want you to go to your happy place. Judging by the size of you, that's probably Greg's.
Hypnosis could certainly help with your intimacy issues. While you were unconscious, I rested my nuts on your head.
Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Nish, which category do you like?
World news, please.
OK, world news it is. The answer is 40 days. What is the question?
Is it the number of consecutive days my mother has texted me saying, have you had a haircut?
How long is it to the next Labour leadership election?
Is it how old was my pet ant when he had his midlife crisis?
Is it how long did it take Joey Essex to read The Hungry Caterpillar?
Is it how long does it take to go she loves me not round the whole of the Chelsea Flower Show?
Is it, once he's elected, how many days will there be in Trump-tember?
I got this month. It's a beautiful month. It's a really it's a great month. Great one. Best month you've seen. It's going to be such a beautiful month. It's going to be great.
Is it how long was I in a hotel room when I put the Do Not Disturb sign on the wrong side of the door?
Is it how long would Jeremy Hunt have to wait for in A&E before being seen?
Is it if I have a pickled onion monster munch, how long will it be in my burps?
And you know what the actual answer is, please?
Is it when they hacked Hillary's emails, how long did they spend just wading through Bill Clinton's porn stash?
Is it how many days until the American election?
It is absolutely right. Thank you very much. Tish, come on!
Classic nerd.
Yes, the question I was looking for is how long until the US presidential election? In a bitter campaign, the 2 most disliked candidates in 30 years are vying to become the 45th president of the United States. Now, this week was the first presidential debate. Did any of you see it? See much of it?
Not many people watched it here, but it gets massive figures in America, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, because in America, God, they don't put it on at 2 o'clock in the morning. See, that's the genius.
That's how it works.
You know, that's the old That's the old American can-do spirit, you know? They're clever about this stuff, the Americans.
Got 100 million views.
Yeah, 100
and
million.
Channel 4 have bought the format because they're so excited about it.
It was a weird atmosphere because it looked like Hillary Clinton was sort of trying to invoke the great presidential debates like Kennedy versus Nixon and Reagan versus Carter, whereas Donald Trump sort of reminded me of Batman versus Superman in that he was loud, incoherent, and managed to be disappointing despite expectations being unbelievably low.
He had a terrible problem with the moderator, though, didn't he? He didn't like the moderator subsequently.
Well, the moderator would say things like, no, that's not true, actually.
He's got a perfect plan for dealing with the moderator, is that the next debate he's going to build a wall between him and the moderator. And the moderator is paying for the wall.
The other mistake that Trump makes is that he's read somewhere that Mexicans make good fighters, but it's actually pronounced fajitas.
Do you know how often he lied in a 90-minute debate?
Was it 37 times?
34 lies.
34 times. Oh, I'm doing him a terrible disservice.
You are. You make him sound like he's a big liar. He lied 34 times. She lied 4 times.
But she did the first lie, because she came out and said, it's a pleasure to be here talking to you.
Trump clearly has no idea about how the political systems in the world work, which is why I won't be voting for him.
In other news, what are the latest developments in the Great British Bake Off saga?
Well, seemingly it's going to be hosted by someone who's not even from Britain, isn't it, Dara?
Why are the crown jewels of this country being handed to immigrants?
I looked at the odds. You're both on it, Ed and Dara. Do you know who I'm betting on? Not even on the list. Can't believe he's not in the mix. Mr. Kipling.
He's been for like 7 years sitting at home with a fag going, to his missus going, I nailed it.
I would do this exceedingly well, I would.
No offence to you, Dara, but I would like Ed to host it because he seems to know a lot about caking. And also, I believe it's caking. Yeah.
That's the industry term. Amongst people who know, that is the term.
Caking sounds like an urban slang word for something that sort of came after dogging or something, didn't it?
Yeah, Tory MP's been caught caking in Hampshire.
But also...
in a tent as well. Oh.
It'll be reassuring because you look like an exact combination of Mel and Sue.
Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Matt, which category would you like?
Politics, please.
OK, excellent. Politics it is. The answer is 5. But what is the question?
The amount of times a minute Ed Miliband remembers that stone. Is it, if I've got a tenner and want to book a boy band for my wedding, who can I afford?
Everybody get up.
Is it what does Nigel Farage regard as an acceptable level of immigration?
Is it how many snazzy ties did I try on before the show?
No.
What is the maximum number of euros you can get out of a Greek cash point at the moment?
Is it... If I'm watching a documentary on Adolf Hitler's favourite shark, which channel am I watching?
What would be a cracking score for a UK entry in Eurovision?
Is it how many of the famous 5 are now dead?
Surely not.
I didn't want to break it to you like this.
Julian is just sitting quietly in a rocking chair, remembering the adventures and going...
Laughing because he killed them all.
Is it how many basic bitches does it take to escort Kate Moss off an EasyJet flight?
Is that a thing? Is that like a...
I'm a pretty basic bitch.
I think you're an ornate bitch, right? I think
You think I'm a ratchet-ass hoe?
Well, I didn't want to make it too obvious, so I've got a little soft spot for you.
Is it how many presenters from the 1970s are relaxed when the phone rings now?
Is it how many names are currently written on Taylor Swift's blank space?
Is it as a...
I know it's a song. I know Taylor Swift.
You know Taylor
Taylor's
Swift?
gonna hate.
Is this what we do? If
Check
ever
it
we
out.
mention any band and you're going to do an impression?
No, that's not what's going to happen here.
Is
right?
it Kate Bush?
So one quick impression.
The Village People.
NWA. Stop.
I think it is how many candidates are there in the Labour leadership?
Absolutely right. Thank you very, very much,
contest,
Hugh. Yes. Correct. OK, now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely instructions.
Please do not use this electrical appliance while you're in the bath. Actually, you know what? Go on. If you're that dumb, I think we can afford to lose you.
Nick Clegg Feng Shui. Move everything to the right for an easier life.
Hot noodle. For best results, put back on the shelf.
If pain persists, see a doctor. Just make sure it's not Michael Jackson's doctor.
To light gas, first place match near buttocks.
One of these condoms has got a hole in it. Are you feeling lucky, punk?
Dale Farm yogurt. Contents may settle.
Please retain these assembly instructions in case you want to disassemble the furniture when you realise moving in with her wasn't the best move after all.
Instructions for sandwich toaster. Week 1, eat nothing but toasted sandwiches. Week 2, put in cupboard and never use again.
If unsure how to apply condom, take banana and beat erection with it till it goes away.
Enjoy your animal-shaped biscuits. Do not eat if seal is broken.
To reboot, pick up boots and put them on again.
Congratulations on your new bread maker. Ooh, I bet Kingsmill are quaking in their boots.
Game is over either when one player collects all cheeses or Daddy has a tantrum and kicks the board across the room.
Are your hands full, but you want to transfer 10 donuts?
OK. Our next round is called Newsreel. We play in a recent piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask you to suggest what they might be saying. This week's clip features the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall.
Ah, well, here he is, His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales, and Mrs. Prince of Wales. Well, why are they here? Well, to overlook the building of their new house. It's a bit behind schedule, I'm afraid. It was due to be finished in the Renaissance. But never mind, in the interim, they've discovered electricity, so that's an added bonus. Look at that light bulb, darling, shining its lovely light on your lovely face. Prince Charles doesn't like this very much, doesn't like an overrun. Now, which of you is responsible for the overrun, he's asking. I don't care if you're Polish. One of you will be beheaded. Now, are you responsible for the overrun? Was it you? Are you responsible for the overrun? No, Your Highness. We're not responsible for the overrun. We're just getting on with the job you gave us. We're bricking in your relatives. Why haven't you finished it? You're meant to be doing it. Why aren't you doing it now? Well, Your Royal Highness, we would be doing it now if you weren't talking to us, so if you shut up, we'll be able to get on with it, and it won't take nearly as long, so just go away. Now, let me pop on my specs, have a look at this enormous microphone. Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Whitney Houston. Well, turns out to be a stone hammer. Prince Charles, of course, terribly good at hammering stone. He's carved and recarved his own mother's gravestone many times over the years. Prince Charles getting rid of some graffiti there. Wills for king. Oh, no, you don't do it like that, Your Highness. You need longer, manly strokes like that. And a bit of a chamfer. Oh, manly strokes, is it? Yes, I'm laughing now, but you can fuck off. I'm the Prince of Wales.
Well done, Hugh. Things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
And that's a world record from Usain Bolt, 9.5 in one night.
Let's see what's happening in the velodrome. Yep. Cycling.
Oh, you won a gold. Oh, well done. What in? Canoeing? Oh, get a life, mate.
I've just come out of the diving pool. Look at the colour of my legs.
Look at that masterful control of his javelin. He really is the best streaker we've had all year.
Well, this is the pommel horse, and that plaintive neigh is the horse they are pommelling.
Time for the next fight now. He floats like a butterfly, he stings like a bee. He's got a black belt, he's got 5 black belts. OK, he's a wasp.
And if you'd like to enjoy our coverage of the dressage, we recommend MDMA.
And his penis has slapped the top of the bar. That is a straight ban from Wetherspoons.
The allegations of drug use have been strenuously denied by the new Russian Minister for Doping, Keith Vaz.
We were afraid the Chinese were going to use doping, and here she is. What a fantastic athlete. Doping!
Breaking news, Ryan Lochte has tested positive for being a twat.
And Oscar Pistorius has jumped the gun, and for that he'll only get 6 years.
Well, a nearly perfect execution there, but not quite as perfect as the one he'll receive when he returns to North Korea.
You join me live at the all-dancing. Fucking state of it.
At the end of that, the point's going to run at Stuart Netton. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is race. Who wants to come on that?
I remember that day. The Interracial Arm Wrestling World Championships. I'm a white man. Thank you. I'm a white man, which means that a lot of people hate me these days. But I'm a white man, so it doesn't matter. Basically the same. Not just that, I'm a young, white, middle-class, straight man. In the game of life, that is what's called a royal flush. I hit the jackpot, OK? I got lucky as shit, so everyone thinks my life is easy. Everyone thinks I've got it simple, but that's because they don't know my struggle, OK? My day-to-day, the shit I have to deal with on a daily basis. Do you know how often I'm sat in a coffee shop and someone asks me to watch their laptop for them? Just let me live my life! Yes, I am trustworthy, but don't assume that based on my appearance, OK? That is still discrimination. And yes, in this Cafe Nero, surrounded by all these mums, I'm unlikely to steal your Dell computer when I'm clearly already using a MacBook Pro. A superior laptop. But don't get too relaxed. I could just easily steal that Dell and repurpose it as a gift for someone I don't respect. Hard part for me about being those 5 things, that royal flush, is being a comedian. That's the hard part, because you're constantly told art comes from pain, right? To make great art, you got to experience pain along the way in childhood or whatever, then harness that pain, turn it into art down the line. But I don't know the meaning of the word pain. I've never experienced any true pain. First time I even saw the word pain, I was in a patisserie.
The next topic is bad things to say at a job interview.
What do I think of nepotism? That's a good question, Dad.
Yeah, I served for 10 years in Afghanistan. I was in the Taliban.
I like to see myself as a people person, although some people have called me a trafficker.
So I'm just checking. You definitely don't do a CRB check.
You ask a lot of questions.
Sorry, could you repeat the question? My ankle bracelet's beeping really loudly.
Well, I am a fully qualified geography teacher, and the school's next door, is it?
If it were to take you on as an accountant, how do you think you'd cope with all the extra fanny you'd be getting?
Do I like jogging? Oh, I thought he said, do I like dogging? The answer's still yes.
You've demonstrated a bad attitude, an inability to listen, and a complete lack of interest in others. Welcome to Ryanair's customer service team.
Why do I want to be a vet? Ketamine.
Well, they gave me a tutu at university, so I just thought I'd wear it to the interview.
I'd say my 3 strongest points are attention to detail, a determination to see things through, yada, yada, yada.
Yes, I think I would be the perfect candidate today to make the platform announce.
Why do I want to join the army? I just love a man in uniform.
What would I do if I won the lottery? Tell you to fuck off.
OK, that's it. End that round. The points go to Chris here and Gary. Whose famous face was recently given a makeover?
Is this Jesus story?
This is the Jesus story.
This is like this Spanish woman who tried to restore this painting and just ruined it.
She did. Where was it, by the way? It was in...
It was in Spain.
It was in Spain. I'm trying to
Where
find...
the Spanish ladies are.
Yes. And they do dance well. It was in Zaragoza. It was in the Sanctuary of Mercy Church in Zaragoza.
That's it. And the authorities were very cross with her. Because the only people who are allowed to touch up in a Catholic church are, of course, the priest.
Yes, it was a church, the Sanctuary of Mercy Church near Zaragoza, and there is a century-old...
You really brought Spain to life for us there.
You have to make an effort with foreign names. You can't just be Zeds and...
And you say Paris, do you?
Zaragoza. Zaragoza.
Wanker.
Zaragoza. So, hola, ¿qué tal? Sí, bueno. See, the worst thing is I do a Spanish accent, it goes Mexican incredibly quickly. There was a Frasco in a church in Zaragoza. This fresco was incredibly beautiful. They call it El Guapismo. Anyway, there was a fresco in a church in Zaragoza.
Where's the fresco?
It's in a church in Zaragoza. In a church in Zaragoza.
Zaragoza. How old was it?
It was a century. It was 100 years old.
A whole 100 years.
A whole 100 years old.
What a story this is. My God. Somebody has touched up a 100-year-old painting on a wall.
Quiet week. Zaragoza is a very sleepy town. I think it's much more the case that it was decaying because of where it had been painted, right? And so this is how the fresco looked originally. This is actually a photo could have taken some years ago. Now, this is the fresco is painted by Elias Garcia Martinez. I'm going for it. Do it, man, do it. Right. This is how it looked just recently because the plaster on which it was built had decayed, right? So this is how it looked now. Okay. So a nice old lady, a nice Zaragozan lady, went in and repainted it. And just paint up. And this is how it looked when she'd finished. She's done a great job of it.
The thing is, here's one I sent in earlier.
You really should be. Like old lady, Zaragoza. I am sorry, people of Zaragoza, we cannot return your paintings. Thank you very much for sending them in to Mock Week's gallery.
Your paintings because they're painted on a wall in a church.
She's actually made Jesus look like a Teletubby.
She also rounded him off as well. Like she twisted it around and the whole thing.
She thought she'd done a really good job, though, because everyone that she showed it to went, Jesus Christ!
Completely fair. We don't actually know what Jesus looked like.
He didn't look like that.
Just assume that he looked like... Who knows?
I'll tell you what,
this might have been the bit that from the Bible.
I'm Jesus.
I'll tell you what. Blessing in the Bible where Jesus comes in after a botched face job. At supper and everyone says, have you had any work done, Jesus? No.
You know my furry hat? My furry hat goes all the way around.
She's actually seeing the restorer next week, isn't she? Because she's got to tell the restorer exactly what materials she used to do that. And you're thinking all she's going to produce is half a potato.
The irony is she is probably older than the fucking fresco.
It has been the most relentlessly negative on both side campaigns. Like whatever. Genuinely, very, very quick quiz, right? As to who said it. Do we say or do we go, right? Do we remain, do we leave? Who threatened what, right? Britain be landed with a £2.4 billion bill. Is it if we remain or if we leave?
That's leave.
No, that's if we remain. According to Boris Johnson, Britain lose 3 million jobs if we remain or if we leave.
Leave.
Yeah, that's very good. That's what the Remain campaign said. The value of homes will drop by a fifth if we remain or if we leave.
Oh, that was on Homes Under the Hammer.
Yes. There'll be fewer curry chefs if we remain or if we leave. There will be fewer curry chefs.
Curry, that famously European dish.
Do you think if we leave...
enough, you stole our country, white people! Carry on.
If you say leave, it's if we remain. According to Priti Patel, the Leave campaign, they'll be starved of high-quality chefs by immigration policy. It'll cost each household £9,000 a year. Remain or leave?
Remain said that.
Remain said that, you're right, not leave. Yeah. Are you following all this?
The only word I understood from that was curry. I've got no
idea. Even the extent that people go, the value of homes in the UK will drop by a fifth, and then lots of people went, oh, great. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? Because then people can afford to buy homes. Oh, we hear about people not being able to afford to buy homes. No, it's a bad thing. Oh, it's a bad thing now. OK, wait, yeah, is it a bad thing? We don't even know if things are good or bad.
Big worries for Brexit. One of the big fears they've got is that Europe keeps on expanding. So they keep on adding countries. And there is some, there is some worry about that because Australia came second in Eurovision.
I think the problem... Well, you've got this John Major having a go at Boris Johnson, which is a blue on blue, did they call that? I didn't understand what that was, and I was going to Google it, but then I thought, I don't know what kind of porn I'm going to take. The last thing I want to do is go, oh, Anthony Costa, you're better than that.
It's Smurfs. It's the magic flute.
What I mainly feel about it, though, is that basically we have got to make this last 3 weeks on this programme.
Yes.
We can't use all these jokes now. This effectively for us is tantric satire. Very easy.
OK. We're going to hold back. All right. The question I was looking for is, according to a major new UN report on climate change, how certain are scientists that mankind is to blame for global warming? This is the news that the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has published a report concluding that they are 95% certain that since 1950 mankind have been the dominant cause of climate change.
It's a disappointing statistic, though, isn't it? It's like when you see on a condom packet, these are 99% successful, you know, and you think, well, what happens if you make love 100 times? You know, you're thinking, maybe I need to
well,
keep
Andy,
count.
someone knocks on your door and gives you a prize.
Are you trying to say that I'm still in the 90s?
It's merely gossip, I'm sure.
Yes, but there's obviously people who won't. It doesn't matter how many reports.
They say sea levels are going to rise, but that's very difficult to check. Because they're constantly kind of doing that.
Yeah, but the ground isn't, Josh. You've
No,
noticed that? There's a fairly easy kind of... Like, if you look at the edge of, like, a harbour, there's, like, a wall that gets wet and then dries and then gets wet again. That's...
Yeah, but that up and down, Dara. They're going up and down all the time.
But they can just measure the highest bit and wait a while and see if it gets higher the next day.
That's why you're a scientist and
They're not worried about sea level rising, aren't they? Because apparently East Anglia, if it goes more than about 2 metres, the whole thing is going to go underwater. And currently in East Anglia, they're complaining about all these wind turbines are going to spoil the view. You're thinking, not as much as 2 billion gallons of seawater. They'll be grateful for the wind turbines, then, won't they? Because they'll be one of the few things above sea level that they can bloody cling on to.
I wanted the wind turbine! I didn't think this plan through!
What's the other 5% that might be to blame?
No. It's there is still a 5% chance that it will be.
It's not like squirrels or something.
It isn't. That other animals have been farting out the CO2.
I was just going to ask Miles what the chances are of it not being caused.
As a fraction.
As a fraction. Yeah, as a fraction. What would that be, Mum?
Oh, you're looking at, 7/20 or something like that. I'll be honest, I was quite surprised when you got to the end of that question and it was directed at me, and I may not have listened to some of the words involved in the sentence before my name came up, but I suddenly realised you were looking at me. This keeps happening on this show. You're all talking about, God knows what. I look up and my dear colleagues are expecting me to join in.
Have you put a bet on yourself to throw Mock the Week?
So what plans are there to possibly counteract this? If this is the case, what are the plans to counteract
A cooling-off period.
What, we just can tell everyone just to calm down for a while?
Yeah. In my experience, these things sort themselves out.
And the mirror, have you seen the mirror in space?
A mirror in space?
You build a mirror in space that would deflect sunlight, because the sun is the thing which is constantly going to keep overheating, so you deflect the sunlight away.
Will it face us as well? Will it be double-sided?
What, will you be able to look at yourself in the space mirror?
Yeah, you'll be going out and you go, is the hair all right? Yeah, good, let's go.
Good to go. OK.
And if you break the mirror, it's 1 billion years.
I hope it's like in small squares, so it's like a mirror ball. So that it spins in space.
Ball.
A disco ball. Giant. This round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Joe, which one would you like?
Home news, please.
OK, your category is home news. The answer is 10 minutes. What is the question?
10 minutes. Is that sobering up time for a budget airline pilot?
Is it... How much of 2006 can Pete Doherty remember?
Is it what is the life expectancy of an Iraqi greengrocer?
What's the maximum length of time a man can tread water once he's been handed a hippo? I never know, though.
No, I'm rolling it. What kind of, like, you know, swimming lessons were you brought to? Yeah, you're doing good, you're doing very good. Now bring in the hippo, bring in the hippo.
Is it something to do with education? Is it what do most kids think quarter of an hour is?
I know the answer.
It is something to do vaguely with education.
Oh, it's how long are new lessons going to be?
How long are some new lessons?
Yeah, Mandarin specifically.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Very well done, Russell Howard. Very good. Now, the question I was looking for is how long might some lessons now last under proposed secondary school reforms? These are the radical proposals from the Qualifications and Curriculum Authority to combat pupil disaffection by revolutionising school timetables and teaching methods. Does anyone really care about pupil disaffection?
Well, do you know,
is there any generation that didn't have... I don't like this.
Do you know, at school, I mean, working towards excellence does depend on the pupils, but we had a bloke at my school who, when they marked A-levels, he used to get A, B, C, D, E, O, F. Those were the grades, right? The first time... Took his A-levels twice. The first time round...
How did you get an O before the F?
Well, because it was an O-level pass and then a fail. So but the first time round, he got 2 O's and an F. He retook them, he got 2 F's and an O. And he was delighted because he could spell ooh, F off with his A-level results.
But it's amazing.
See, that's the kind of kids you're working with.
But that's all you do at school. We had a maths teacher called Mr. Winter, and he had a comb over, right? And we used to play a game called Tilt the Wig. And the aim was to get him so angry that his hair would flap down by one side. And you cannot get told off by a grown man whose hair is flapping. It's the most fun. It's like when you go 10-pin bowling with your mates and they go and get a drink and you fiddle with their name. They come back, they bowl, they get a strike, they turn to celebrate, and above them in flashing letters it just says, "I touch kids." It's that level of giddy joy, you know? Totally oblivious to the fact of it.
This is part of the new proposals, isn't it, that they have things like 10-minute classes to shake up education and they have they combine subjects and stuff like that.
It is genuinely a proposal that you would get different teachers to add it. And the one suggested by the man from the Qualifications and Curriculum Advisory Board, whatever it is, was that perhaps the PE teacher could come around and tell you about great historical example of sporting figures and their leadership. Which is
Could there be a worse idea?
I
mean, you're sitting there as a history teacher trying to tell people about life in the trenches in the First World War. A guy comes in a tracksuit and starts going on about the life of Graham Souness.
I think they combine religious education and biology, so then you'll know where babies come from, but you'll also know it's a sin and dirty and bad.
The other suggestion was... One of the examples was anatomy, where you could have your science teacher and your PE teacher giving the lesson together. The danger then, isn't it, if you forget your Bunsen burner, you know, you may have to do the whole lesson in your pants.
The whole scheme seems to be, what else can we get the PE teacher to do?
Are they not also introducing they're trying to introduce new things, like you can do archery and skateboarding, apparently, in school. And what's going to happen there is you're just going to get a whole new type of drive-by shooting.
That'd be great.
Mothers of gang members pleading for quivers to be taken off the streets.
It is. But you should be able to hear the roll, pat, roll, pat. Oh my God! Quick, duck! There was an example given actually of many of the new sports, and they suggested skateboarding and golf. As if there's, you know, in a Venn diagram, just to bring maths into this, a Venn diagram that includes kids who skateboard and kids who play golf. There was no intersection there at all.
I was thinking you were saying it was skateboarding while golfing.
No.
That's brilliant. That's like sort of council house polo. That's a fantastic idea, isn't it?
All these new sports are because Blair thinks our kids are too fat. Isn't it? That way they eat too much sugar and too much salt and too much fat and stuff. And I read a really frightening thing the other day, that if you leave a fat kid in a glass of Coke overnight... You can finish that one off yourself, to be honest.
Well, their proposal for fat kids at school is that they give them dance lessons. They're not going to have the concentration for that, are they? Everybody do the mashed potato. Ooh, mashed potato! The thing is, if they're saying, oh, well, how do we get children to learn? Make them.
Yes.
Make them learn. Combine algebra with a beating. You know?
A lot of the new subject is just designed to make parents feel even more stupid, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
It's like,
it'd be great.
You know, can you help me with my Mandarin homework? Oh, yes, dear. It's like a small orange, a bit like a satsuma.
The subject is health. Who wants to come in on that?
Right, health. I actually don't have that good a relationship with my GP. For one reason and one reason only. Up until the age of 17, my GP had me on their records as a woman. But yeah, they had me on their records as Miss N. Caton. And then one day they sent me a letter in the post addressed to Miss N. Caton. Now, because I'm 17, I don't really pay attention to the detail. I open the letter, and the letter says, Dear Miss N. Caton, your doctor surgery would like to invite you to attend a cervical screening next Monday at 9. Now, this is where I messed up. See, at 17, I knew what cervical was. That's obvious, right? But what I didn't know was that there's more than one meaning for the word screening. I thought screening was like, you know, you're screening a film. So, when it said we would like to invite you to attend a cervical screening, in my ignorant, naive 17-year-old brain, I honestly thought I was being invited to watch a movie about women's genitalia. Right? Now, I'm 17, I'm horny, I'm a virgin. Am I gonna go? You're damn right I am. So next Monday morning, I go to my GP, I get to the reception, it's full of women, doesn't put me off. Right? Walk up to the receptionist, I go, hey, how you doing? I'm Nathan Caton, I'm here for the cervical screening. She looks up, sees me standing there with nachos, popcorn and pick and mix. Starts laughing in my face.
How did Farage upstage the new leader? What did he do?
Oh, did he go swimming naked?
He did go, yes.
Well, pants on, skinny dipping, they've called it.
Well, it's a very odd celebration, though, isn't it? To celebrate leaving Europe by stripping off and swimming towards it.
Yeah.
I think... Serious suggestion here.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, by the way. I realise I haven't said hello to you today.
Hello, James. Good to see you.
Hello, good to see you all. My main point...
I would like to compliment you on managing to find a jumper. This is the exact same colour as your hair.
Thank you.
It's very good.
And my shirt.
And your shirt.
I'm working on my skin. I'm hoping this soon I can just be completely in mustard and then hide in Coleman's.
To seem, you know, churlish, but can we return to the topic at hand?
Absolutely.
Can you remember what the topic was?
It is illegal to be naked in public.
Oh,
so he
is
did.
it?
Yeah, I mean, you can't take all your clothes off. Yeah, and so.
Yeah, of course it is.
I think people are really.
Why did I for a second doubt that? I apologise.
Like, is it?
That's an interesting window on my views. Is this? What's wrong with you people? Just be relaxed.
That's why we're all sitting behind desks.
They're just bodies.
He really hasn't retired, has he? So he's been to America, hasn't he? And he's worked with Donald Trump, hasn't he?
He has. He's appeared with
Donald Trump. And in America, he's known as Mr. Brexit. Which sounds like a sort of 1970s men's clothes shop to me. Where do you get your shirt? Mr. Brexit.
In Malaysia, Mr. Brexit means vagina. Did you know that?
What new challenge is Theresa May facing?
Oh, there's a group. A group has been set up.
Yes.
I believe they're called Leave Means Leave.
Yes, they are.
And they're saying, we want Brexit now, hard Brexit.
This whole thing feels like a really horrible game of would you rather, but they're both things you don't want. Like, would you rather have massive hands, but they're not attached to your body, or tiny hands, but they're strangling you? Wait, one of them means means you're racist.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
It must be so hard for him. It must be so stressful, so confusing. Because I tried to switch from BT Sports to Sky Sports, and I ended up crying and just having both.
I think I might have an idea in terms of solving, basically, because half of the country want to leave and half of the country or slightly more want to stay. Why don't we do a Robbie, like, where we leave, but we come back for big concerts?
Yes.
So, like, everyone's OK about it, the fans are happy when he does turn up, what a great surprise. But actually, most of the time, he's not in the band.
So, sort of unexpectedly, so they have, like, the European things where there's 27 of them around and they're all just swaying gently, and then it's like,
I would rather have big hands, but they're not attached to my body.
That's that, ladies and gentlemen. Good. What is the recent news about Britain's population?
Oh, there's loads of us.
There's loads!
It's now gone up to 61 million.
Now, this was reported by The Independent, for example, during the week, with baby boom drives British population to record high.
Yep.
Whereas The Sun said randy couples push population to 61 million.
You know
And brilliantly, the Daily Mail said an immigrant baby boom has fueling Britain's fastest population growth in half a century.
It sounds like there's an agenda in place. What was lovely as well was the links, because The Independent and the Mail all had links to how population is going to affect us in the future. The Sun had a link from that news story that said 11 million people have had sex in their car. Are you one of them?
I read about this story. I read about this story originally on the Daily Mail website, and it made a big thing about the immigrants. And then it said the average woman in Britain now has 1.9 children. And I thought, who are all these 0.9 people? And then I read the comments underneath, and there they were.
Hello. What we need to do, I think, is put teenagers off sex, and I am the very man for that job. You know the way they send a prisoner round sometimes to tell kids in school that crime isn't going to be good for them? They should send me round to show them what sex is like in a long-term relationship. And for realism, in the middle of it, my 2-year-old son walks in and tells us both that he needs a poo.
Hang on 1 second.
Oh, I've just got
You can lock the racist door, but you can't lock the bedroom door.
BNP, they got very excited by the baby boom statistics, didn't they? And you know, like Jerry Adams used to, when he was on the news, they always had to dub his voice, didn't they? I think for the BNP, whenever Nick Griffin's on the news, they should dub his voice with the voice of Joe Pasquale.
I think it'd be funny if it was Mr. T.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, or like a Jamaican. In a patois.
Come over here.
BNP here.
I'm trying to steal my jobs and ting. It was great when he
steel drums in the background. Ding, 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 ding.
Does anyone hear a creaking door? We need to do some serious things to tackle the population problem, right? First of all, we should get Fiona Bruce during Antiques Roadshow to every 30 seconds go, boo! And secondly, we need a security firm patrolling Kerry Katona's vagina 24/7.
OK, at the end of... At the end of that round, the points go to Russell, Holly and Andy.
The topic is driving.
Oh. I have to drive because I run like that. Now, I don't want you guys to think I'm a failure just because I live at home with my mum and dad and I'm 35 years old. Because recently, one of the things I did is I finally passed my driving test. You would not clap if you'd seen me do it. I found the whole process very stressful, and I get quite nervous about it. And people aren't very much help when you feel nervous. Like I'd say, oh, I'm feeling nervous, and they go, oh, don't be nervous. Oh, thanks very much. I hadn't thought of it like that. Where I live, when you first pass your driving test, everyone has to go on this one rite of passage drive to an out-of-town shopping centre which goes by the name of Blue Water. And so I decided I wouldn't go on my own. I thought I'd take someone with me. I'll take my dad with me because I've got a good relationship with my dad, and I thought this would be a great way to end it. And, like, the last thing my dad taught me how to do was how to box. Yeah. When I was being picked on at school. Can you imagine? And he was just standing there going, it's all right, you just got to punch my hands. Just try punching my hands. I was cowering in the corner going, no, Dad, no, I can't do it. I can't deal with confrontation. It doesn't sound right in my accent. My dad was going, oh, I thought you'd be much better at this. I mean, you've already got the silk dressing gown on and everything. So we're sat there in the car, right, and there's already a tension, and we're going along, and we come to some traffic lights, and they're red. That means you have to stop. I've done the theory test as well. Anyway, the lights went from red to amber to green, and I went to drive off, and what happened is I stalled the engine. And my dad, bless him, he turned to me, and he said, concentrate! Which is such a calming thing to say.
Thank you very much, well done, both of you. And that round of applause goes to Tessia. Well done. In other news, what type of unusual theme park did President Vladimir Putin open recently?
I'm sorry about the rotten doll thing, Dara.
Just let it go.
I thought you were doing
Stop doing that! Oh, no! Do not damage the magical Christmas... OK, how has the behaviour of Western tourists upset people in Malaysia recently?
Well...
Saw that, didn't you? Saw the way I obviously didn't go straight to the only remaining person.
This is the Bruce... Oh, bollocks.
Sure, you would.
On my back. This is the Bruce Sport...
Hey! There's really good heroin on this. Don't knock the tree down.
Oh, look, it's snowing! We win!
Our next round is called Newsreel. Hang on. Sorry. Right. You've got a cold, all right? Jesus. You're better than me. You've never had a cold, right?
Obama versus Putin. Let the lynch say fucking hell.
What unusual present might people be giving this Christmas? That's right, jizz. Sorry, did anyone tell me why, sperm would be a Christmassy thing?
Because it is Christmassy, you can write on the windows with it.
Put it on again. Put it on again. The iPad, yeah, put it on again. Go on.
Oh, you look funny. You look funny. Do the thing where you look funny again. You know when you made you look like the guy from the back of a fucking bus, and for 3 years, everyone sends you photographs of a cartoon man on the back of the bus every day on Twitter. Hey, Dara, I saw you in Manchester today, huh? Click. Oh, bollocks, that bar on the back of the bus again. Do that with an eye patch, and then for years, every eye patch person in the universe, I will get sent him on Twitter. Happy? There. I'll take it on my nose. Is that all right? Is that all right? Oh, I hurt my nose. Oh, wow, it looks like I'm wearing a G-string.
If the marketing people are clever, that bloke on the back of the megabus is going to have an eye patch by next week.
The next topic is unlikely things to hear at Christmas.
I don't care how many presents he's left, there's reindeer shit all over the roof.
Look at those shiny red baubles. Welcome to the Embarrassing Bodies Christmas special.
I didn't know what size you were, so I just had to guess. There you go. Your first packet of condoms.
And now on BBC One, The Queen's Speech, which contains scenes of a sexual nature.
A crib full of straw? No, I asked to see the manager.
I thought if I cut the legs off the turkey, I'd be able to get it into the roasting tray easier, but if anything, it just made it flap about even more.
It's lovely to have venison for a change. Santa, how are you getting home?
Well, take a skewer and shove it into a meaty bit of the thigh, and if she screams, Granny's asleep, not dead.
Sorry, Tiny Tim.
OK, and then David Cameron leaves the room and the pig head winks, smiles and blows a little kiss. And that is my idea for the new John Lewis ad.
These sprouts are from Germany. They lied about the emissions again.
So do you mean I need batteries for all of these? That's the last time I go out in Summers for Christmas.
No, I didn't put a penny in the Christmas pudding. I spent a penny in the Christmas pudding.
Vorderman Smiley McGiffin. No, Reverend, this is not what I meant when I said which carols do you want to do?
Bad things for a teacher to say.
Fight! 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 Fight!
You know the rules, Thomas. If you forget your PE kit, I take the lesson in my pants.
I'm a gun runner, robber and murderer, but the Home Office think I'm clean.
Are you chewing, boy? This is the worst blowjob I've had all day.
I don't know the answer, Watkins. I just do this job for the holidays.
It turns out you're not dyslexic, you're just really, really stupid.
I've been at this school for over 40 years. I buggered your fathers and I will bugger you.
OK, at the end of that, ladies and gentlemen, the winners are Ian, Hugh and Frankie.